island, Mr. Derek Newbold of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, our Caribbean Business Development Officer, Dr. James Bennett, and our field engineer here, Mr. John Malice, our drilling engineer. We're here on the island today on Freeport, Bahamas. Beautiful place to be, scouting out the opportunity to place a 5,000 barrel a day oil refinery here. And so as the video continues on, we'll show the various locations and the opportunities so we can go back and do our due diligence and build out our plan. We'll see you soon. We want to show you this shot right from here because this is the side of the storage facility that actually holds 29 million barrels of product here at this location. And you'll see the subsea pipelines that are starting to come out that go directly into the tanks, and they'll come as you follow out. It'll start to now bend and then go underneath the water back onto this side. You'll see through the jetties, and then as you see it go down, it'll hit to the jetties on the far side, right where the tanking refueling operation is going forth. And we're showing you this to be able to explain that this is the 4th largest tanking operation in the world, Borco, that operates. So the capacity for us to be able to scale when we look to build our initial project of about 5,000 barrels a day, we will very rapidly look to scale up to 10,000, 15, and 20 to be able to meet the market demands. We've already started doing some of the needs analysis here in the area, and we believe that on this particular scale, it'll be very progressive, but conservative at the same time. It'll start to move forward because then once we get on the island and we're introduced by the Grand Bahama Port Authority, the relationships will then escalate to start looking to have refined product coming from the island. Currently at the moment right now, they're importing 100% of their fuel onto the island. There's no refining operations currently going on the island. There's no operations as far as any of the other blending or anything of that nature right now. So that's going to put our operations the only one here on the island. We'll just continue on and looking as we continue the tour around, showing our opportunities here on the island.
The jetties behind us are owned by the Bahamas Oil Refinery Company. They no longer refine oil, but they simply store, they transship, and they blend oil for their customers. So the jetties here can take up to VLCC vessels, very large crude vessels, cargo vessels, and the depths alongside are about 100 feet, and they actually can discharge, they can take on load, and they do some light bunkering here at the jetties. People like that have talents and an opportunity to do something special. Right. And I like to help. You know, regardless of the affiliation. He's proven that he can do it on a large scale.
It's only a matter of time for the break.
Yes.
That's it. Once you've got those products that's out there, it's going to come into it.
Yeah.
All right, we just left from the jetties over at the area. We saw where they were able to fuel on the far side. We've now left that area and came over to the tanking facility. You'll be able to see here, this is the tank farm that's here. Take a quick look and we'll move on. This is where the crude tanking and the refined product is being held on the facility here at Borco. Hello everyone, we're currently right now in Freeport, Grand Bahama. We're actually standing here at the port right now where all the Carnival cruise lines come in. We're evaluating the tanking facility, the fuel opportunities to be able to sell to the ship areas, and we're evaluating that as we walk around. So we'll continue showing more footage on this particular trip so we can go back and finish our due diligence and put together our total proposal for the operations here on Grand Bahama Island. We're currently here with the Mr. Derek Newbold, as well as the landlord here for this particular section, and we'll continue our talks.
So all of this property over, so over here on my left, that's the 251 acres over here.
251 acres over there.
Yeah.
Now I take it as that 251 acres, it's not cleared? Or is there a clearing on the other side?
What do you mean stuff cleared?
Cleared meaning,
Like this?
yeah.
No. Yeah. It's all forest area.
It's all forest area.
Yeah.
All right, we're currently on site right here next to Stat Oil. We are located right here, showing the map in the general vicinity right here. This is the parcel of land that we're looking at to start off with a 5,000 barrel a day oil refinery, which is right next door to Stat Oil. Stat Oil's tanking capacity right now is approximately 6.7 million barrels. And if you can look at them, this would be our closest neighbor. Therefore, if we would be able to work in agreement with them, which we'll have a meeting set up, I'm sure, at some point in time, to be able to utilize temporarily while we're initializing the project, to be able to use some of the tank space to get the feedstock and oil to come in to operate the refinery. And then, of course, at that point, as they expand, I'm sure we'll expand as good corporate neighbors. We'll be able to work with them. The other parcel of land is right here on the other side, which is going to be on this, on this side of the there, that we'll evaluate both one and see which will really fit our needs. So if we go back, let's start here again. We're currently standing right here. You'll be able to see the channel that comes through. You can see that right here in real time. This allows us ingress and egress out into the ocean. And there we go.
Okay.
We're currently located right here on the property. If you notice, this is the area where the natural jetty comes right out, and entrance into the storage facility into this area. We're currently here right now, and what we're proposing is a 1,500 feet setback area to start looking at refinery operations within this area of the build out. If you notice, the benefit will be a natural area to be able to build a berth in for here and run pipeline and be able to work with our neighbors next door, which has tanking capacity, if I'm not mistaken, about 6.7 million barrels currently right now and expanding. So if you see, 251.99 acres will give us plenty of expansion room and the ability to build office spaces for educational, the schooling for WOPEC, as well as other building for facilities for the staff to be able to rotate in and out from here. So again, we are currently standing at this location. You can see behind us coming into this channel. As you look at the water, you'll see the notice of the darker blue water, which is going to be a deep canal port that's going to be able to give access for larger vessels coming in and out. And you can notice that even on the map here from the GIS, as well as the shoreline. So this area has already been dredged. All right, I want to give you a little bit of a pictorial here. We just left from this side of Borco, which happens to be the 4th largest tanking facility in the world. They're right at about 29 million barrels of product, whether it be crude and refined product. We're now at another location which is adjacent to the property. We're standing on about 14 acres right now within a fenced-in area that we're currently looking at to put a 5,000 barrel a day refinery initially here and then scale up operations in the other location right next to Stat Oil on the far side. So right here we're going to look back on this side, which is an additional 8 acres, which backs up to Borco as well, which will allow us to establish a 5,000 barrel a day refinery here. Initially, while we're in the scaling process, pipeline our refined product over to Borco and then utilize its facilities on that side. They have a berth, they have tanking facilities, they have jetty facilities, and subsea pipeline. So if you want to just take a look, on the far side we have electrical going all the way through. We also have hydrant facilities in the event if we need any fire safety or any water or that nature from here. We're standing on the top of a platform which could be utilized for a host of things, or if we need to demolish it, we'll sit back with our planners and evaluate what's going to be the highest and best use of this particular location. But the reason for this particular site is allow us to be able to start initially with a 5,000 barrel a day to 7,500 barrel a day, quickly scale up for a long-term plan, and then go over to the other 251 acres for our full facility build out. So anyway, please take a look around. You'll see the fencing around, the area where we just left, Borco on this side, and then we also back up to the back side. That will give you a full understanding of where we're at, what we're doing, and where we're looking to scale upwards towards. This would just be a starting facility. Therefore, so far this trip has been very enlightening, and I think very quickly we'll be able to ramp up from 5,000 barrels a day, and we will definitely be able to tip 20,000 barrels a day very quickly. So with that being said, please just take a look around here of our starting point. Hello everyone, my name is Nathan Hall of World Oil Group. I'm the President and CEO, and we're visiting today on the Grand Bahama Island here at Freeport. We have visited our site today for the soon-to-be 5,000 barrel a day oil refinery, with the scale-up operations to be able to handle the capacity of 20,000 barrels a day. We visited two sites. One of them was 267 acres on the west side of the island in the commercial zone, and the other was a 22-acre plot, broke down in 14 acres on the front side and 8 acres on the back side, which sits adjacent to Borco, which allow us to do a JV operation with Borco that will supply our feedstock and our tank space. We're concluding this evening with a final dinner with the Grand Bahama Port Authority, specifically Mr. Derek Newbold, the investment advisor. And after that, we'll conclude for our trip here in the Grand Bahama Island. We'll go back to the United States, put together our plans, and then come back and share with you our investment package. We'd like to thank you very much for participating in the World Oil Group Grand Bahama Freeport Island Oil Refinery Project.